Hey guys, I was thinking to do this short video, which would be basically going over all the different iteration from the first version of this short animation that I made. For context, well, I'll just show you the animation and then explain you a bit. Yeah, put some context on it. So this is the animation.
Really? Wee, wee, wee. Woo! The wellies, Samuelis, Samuelis, Samuelis.
All right, so this is I don't really call this a short movie, but for context, that's something I did uh, initially with my for my son, kinda. It's really something he does, like just throwing his willies like this. And one day we came out of the park and he just did that, and we were just drawing together, and I started to draw this, and I thought actually that would be quite fun to just do. Yeah, I don't know. After a few drawings with him, he's three, so he has like the attention of a goldfish. After 2 minutes, he wants to do something else, basically. But I did few drawings, and then I was like, oh, actually, that would be quite cool to animate that. And so I have a Galaxy Note 5, and all most of my sketching I make them in Flipperclip, which is a basically a 2D animation app. And so I was sketching in that, and then yeah, it's when you sketch in this application, it's really tempting to just do animation because it's basically an animation app. So yeah. Anyway, so at the end, I started to make this animation, and there was also what made me do that was that the app Flipperclip was basically organizing a contest. So I thought, okay, well, actually, why not? Let's do that. That way, that will force me to kind of finish this thing, and it will be quite fun to just do it with my son. So obviously, again, he's three, so it doesn't mean he did much, but it was still fun to do that with him. Obviously, all the sound he made. I'll show you the progress anyway. But to give you an idea of what he did, basically, like this shoe, this welly, he probably painted that. He painted the background. Yeah, so that was it. He can't really do much, especially on a really small screen. But in a way, that kind of gave me an excuse of staying really rough, and kind of pretending that it's a style. The reality is it's not really. And I'll explain a bit more in a minute. But basically, okay, all I'll do is I'll show you the first version. So that was the first version. That was the first drawings that I did. Actually, that's a lie. That's not the first drawings. The first drawing I did was probably something like this. Yeah, came back from the park, starting to doodle on my phone with my son, and I probably did that as a first drawing. This then I remember I did this pose like I'm waiting for the welly. Then I probably did like just one drawing like that, probably like another one here, and that was it. Just like do like some really quick drawings with him while I was talking, like saying, "Hey, look," like like basically telling the story. And then the evening, I started to basically yeah, do the animation, like the blocking or the animatic, however you want to call this. But this is it basically. So then yeah, I'll shut up, and this is as far as like a first timed yeah, storyboard kind of thing. So as you can see, it's really rough. And to give you the context as well, I didn't do any storyboarding. I didn't do any, yeah, that was the main thing I did, and it was like a straighter head kind of thing. Um, Now I obviously regret I shouldn't have done this. I should have, just just storyboarded properly. So just so the camera angles and uh, for example like this, going from this shot to this shot is quite confusing. Um, uh, yeah, there's few things like the framing here. You see, the framing is really bad, and it stayed like that. Um, Same here. The transition between that shot and that shot is a bit. Anyway, there's a lot of things and I changed as well the ending. At first, that was my idea. Was that yeah, we go back to this view, and the sun is just and those drawings are really awful. And then the sun just throw the welly at a bird and knock the bird out. Um, Also, I should say that I never intended to basically make this animation to be watched on a big screen. Um, right now I'm using computer obviously, and it's so yeah. I was drawing on the phone, so the phone is really tiny, obviously, and it was the quality, like the final quality was okay for the phone, but like just looking at it here, it's awful, and I wouldn't have accepted that quality, yeah, yeah, it's really bad. But anyway, that was still like a fun project to do, so I'm happy overall that I did that. Just if I have to do another one, I won't. I will make sure that I check the lining and all of that on a big screen. Yeah, not only on a small screen. Anyway, so that was the first version. As you can see, yeah, that's the main idea is here, but it's just very rough and yeah, the idea changed at the end. That was the second version. So roughly what I did was so you see I started to clean the lines and do some colorization. Timing is really off. I added detail at the end. But what I did roughly was so it was a 2 weeks project. Roughly, I didn't work every day on it, but yeah, that was roughly I roughly spent 2 weeks, and every evening because I was during the day I was just when I could. That's the benefit of obviously do that on the phone um, is that you've got your phone all the time with you. So even like, sometimes we were actually at the park and I could just, if my son was just occupied do something else and I could just take my phone out and I just do like even you don't do much animation when you're outside, but just like some colorization, some stuff like that, just like you just yeah, just do some progress basically. So um I lost my train of thoughts, but yeah. Yeah, I think what I was saying is that I roughly did a version a day, and so yeah, my son didn't really help. I was doing perhaps one or two things with him per day, and then the evening I was just doing animation on the evening or when I could really. So that was that. As you can see, the end um, changed a little bit. Here, yeah. So really early, so I kept showing. I'll go over the end of this one. Yeah, timing is still really quick. But alongside I was doing that, I was sending some versions to my friends, and they were giving me some feedback because that's something I really encourage you to do. If you like, just show it as soon as you can. It has to be clear from all the stages, all your stages of your animation or shoot or whatever acting piece or cartoon, whatever you do, has to be clear all the time. And so it's really easy to just kind of can be blinded by it, and like, yes, yeah, it's really hard to just take a step back unless you this happens when you keep working on the same piece for a long time. And And yeah, unless you let some time pass, so like, you just don't look at it for like a day or two, and then once you will look at it again, you will start to see, okay, yeah, you can have a bit more of a, of a fresh eye for it. But yeah, if you don't, you really need, and even if you do that, you need to, yeah, ask some feedback to friends. So this is what I did, and my friends pretty early they were telling me that gesture here, we don't really get it. What is he doing here with that pointing motion? So I knew I had to change this. Some timings were really short, so yeah, my good friends, yeah, just gave me lots of nice feedback, retiming here and there. Where also I have to say that I'm a 3D animator, so 2D for me is really tricky, especially on the phone like this. Um, I'm not a great drawer, so yeah. I mean, let's say I'm super rusty and yeah. Anyway, so it was a challenge, but it's really fun. I love doing 2D. So here I think, yeah, you see the end starting to be a bit more timed properly. Here, I think this is the version where I finally, yeah. So I took into account the feedback that they gave me and I removed the weird gesture and just let a bit more time. So here you see it blink because yeah, it's just yeah. Um, that then from this shot, same. The feedback my friend gave me was I don't understand going from this angle to this angle. Well, basically this angle to uh, this angle. Like he didn't understand really the perspective. And he's right. So I thought if I do this, it will help. The problem with this is I kind of I yeah I changed my mind because the kid here it's not the fact that the dad is hidden by the kid feet, but it's that the kid should be moving here. Here is not moving, but he should be swinging. So yeah, I thought, oh, that's too much work. I don't have the time. Also, like I said, I'm not too good at 2D, so this would be, for that shot, I would have to, animate in perspective and all of that. It was a bit too late. I didn't want to do that. Um, yeah, so I changed my idea and kept it like that. Here, my friend was telling me, it's it's um this shot is cool, so it would be good to, just hold a bit more here. So that's what I was trying to do here, but then at the end, as you will see, I changed quite a lot. Here I just cleaned some things, but a lot of in-betweens are missing. Um, what's this one? Yeah, I think here I added the push. Yeah, so the push was missing on the previous version. Again, after I showed this version to my friend, he was telling me it's cool, but uh, or perhaps he didn't. I'm not sure, but I think I realized thinking about this and the fact that he should be swinging. I realized, hey, wait, the dad is pulling the kid, making this, which by the way, doing this is super hard. I actually tried it at the park with my son, and pull your son or someone on the swing with two hands is okay, but then releasing one hand, obviously the swing will go like this side of the swing will just go like that. I mean, it's honestly not. It looks doable, but it's not easy to do. Just releasing one hand and do just a thumbs up like that. It's actually not. It wouldn't happen like this at all. So yeah, I realized actually he's doing this, but he's not pushing his son. So the next shot is the dad. Uh, so I thought I can't remember if it was a feedback I received or if I decided to push. I think it was probably a feedback. Can't remember. Anyway, so I've added that. By the way, there's a huge animation mistake, and I left it on purpose because no one told me. anything about it. But and it would have required a bit too much work, and I was lazy. Yeah. Um, so basically here, as you can see, the right leg is in front of the left leg, and the right leg is at the passing position here, so it's going over. And then suddenly magic, it's the left leg, you know? So this is a huge mistake, and this is from day one. Day one it was there, and I didn't really realize. I realized after, and then when I realized pretty early, but when I realized, I was like, no, I don't change that because I would need to change. I was lazy. I was lazy. I'll admit it. But mainly I didn't change it because no one told me anything, so I kept it. That was funny. So here you see my first attempt to just hold the pose here, which looks like a glitch. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, this thing, the swing in the background, that was just a nightmare. So bear in mind I did that in an app, right? And on a phone. If it was on in Maya or like on a proper 2D software, not saying it's not a proper 2D software, but it's simple. It would be super easy to just do the background here. Like this was my first version, and when I was one of the first version, and when I was doing that, I was like, oh man, that's gonna be a nightmare. This shot is gonna be a nightmare. Not the foreground, but the background moving, purely because of like the limitation of the app. Um, so I had to find, oh no, that's the wrong one. I had to find a way, and that was, yeah, that was one way I found. And at the end, in the final version, I think I really don't, yeah, I tone it down to be part of, oh, sorry. Yeah, I tone it down to be part more of the background, and so the foreground contrasts more, so it stands out a bit more. Yeah, so I did that, and that works much better. Uh, Yeah, I remember here my friend was also telling me like to push some poses here for the anticipation, which was totally right. So you will see, I think in the next version, I changed that. He helped me as well, giving me because 2D is not my comfort zone. I was really struggling to, especially on a project like this, where I mean, I kept it simple on purpose, and also because of it was on the phone. But the yeah, it would require like a lot of in-betweens, a lot more of in-betweens. And so because I couldn't really afford all those in-betweens, I was really struggling on this project to know where I needed to actually spend a bit more time to add those in-betweens that was really needed. It's it's really hard. Bear in mind as well that this is a phone, an app on the phone, so I did everything like what you see here. The final version is like one big scene. You know, if I was doing this in Maya, like this would be a file. Yeah, just a file. This shot would be a file. This shot would be a file. You know, I would break it down and then export, like render those things, and then start to edit them in an editing software. Here I did everything in the app, so one big scene. So it was a huge mess. I thought, the contest was the contest rules were why obviously I had to use the app for everything and to do it in the app. So um, yeah, I think I overcomplicated it, but anyway, it was hard to retime these type of things, and that's when my friend really helped me as well, because it was really kind of just basically downloaded my video, went in After Effects, and retimed some things, changed some poses, draw over some poses and stuff. So that was really helpful for and really nice of him to do. So here, I guess just some progress. The faces as well, like stayed very stiff. I mean, just look at not only the faces, but just look at how much detail is missing on the kid, for example. Yeah, it was just really, I saw that as a simple project, but now just going over it and watching it on the big screen, it's like for me this quality is basically unacceptable. I'm struggling with that. Here it's quite interesting, like my friend did that, so he basically took this shot and then played it reversed, just so the shot lasts longer. Um, and I basically did the same thing. So this is why you see the colorization of this frame basically, this frame here. Yeah. So yeah, so a bit longer. Here I think it starts a bit longer as well. There's just like 1 or 2 frames um, added. So your eyes just gets better. Here, yeah, you see, I applied my friend's feedback, um, which was to just push this pose. I think he did push it even more, but yeah. And then at the end, he gave me also some feedback on the legs. I changed the proportion of the head. Um, yeah. Also quite until quite late, I realized, hey, actually, the second welly is just disappearing here, and yeah, so I took care of that, I think, quite late. Also, one thing I took care of really late was I was paying really a lot of attention here, like too much attention to this area, and I was not following what was happening here. So if you see here, the body is changing quite a lot, doom, at the end. So yeah, was this one? Yeah, I think it's just more progress, just getting cleaner and cleaner. I think, yeah, I did some in between here, I was missing some stuff. And to be honest, just seeing the lines here, so those were like the drawings I've added at the end. Just seeing I know actually those one are not a great example, but like just this one, I remember this drawing. When I did it, I was like, oh, I wish I had this. I wish I had these lines. I managed to do these lines, much sooner, because yeah, I mean, at that stage, I was one with my stylus. I was making one with my stylus. At the beginning, I was really struggling. Like if you see, sorry, let me just go back to like just that drawing is the lines are awful here, and the difference. Let's go back actually just a notch. Yeah, so see the difference between this drawing, these lines, and this line, you know? Yeah, the difference is huge in quality.
Plant really.
Oh, hold on, I think. Oh yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. So the timing at the end was not really there, but was getting there, adding more breakdowns and things like that. Here probably, yeah, the first version, sound version.
Wee, wee, wee.
So that was a lot of fun to record that
Woo!
with my son.
The wellies.
And
The
the song was
wellies.
not planned at all. That the credits, I mean, it was not planned. But then one day, because I was showing my progress to my son every day, and one day he started to just, because he has a small piano, as you can hear, and yeah, he was just playing that and singing that. So I think we filmed him, and I thought, oh, actually, that would be
Plant
quite cool as
wellies.
a as a an outro song. Um, and yeah, yeah. Then I had to do credit, but I didn't want to make credit obviously because that looks a bit too pretentious for something like this quality. Um, but yeah,
The wellies.
there
The
you go, the credits. And then I
wellies.
think
Plant wellies.
at that stage it was pretty locked. Everything was pretty locked. I was just yeah, just adding more detail here and there. And then I think from this version to,
Where is
yeah, from this version to the last version, it was just a matter of, yeah, really, I mean,
Willy?
polishing as much as I could. I think that date here was the last date for the contest. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Where is
That's it. So, I
Where
mean, I hope you find this interesting, or helpful. If you've got any questions or would like to know anything about that fun little project, let me know. I would be happy to answer your comment below. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Bye.